The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You're listening to the Sports Scramble podcast, where four friends serve up a weekly plate of sports with a side of SEC bias. Now, here are your hosts, Chet, Jacob, Wade, and Tyler.
Let's go!
Welcome in, party people, to this week's episode of the Sports Scramble podcast. Back from a little COVID hiatus.
We're back.
Yep. half the show got COVID from I don't want to
From
say
the host.
Yeah, from me. on accident. And just myself, Wade. My wife got sick.
Just a big mouth breather. So
yeah.
What can we say?
That's what happens when I actually go to work. You know, I get to work remote. Everything's fine. I have to go into the office. I get COVID. I fly to Baton Rouge, not knowing. Get there, wake up, got COVID, have to drive 9 hours back. Can't fly. Don't get to go to the game. Wade takes my tickets. Doesn't even sell them. I mean, what are we doing? But we got to enjoy a nice Mexican margarita Friday night. So that's all.
I did try to sell your tickets. But then the guy was like, they're not in the same section. And I was like, yeah, but they're right beside each other.
Yeah,
they're just at the top of the section. And I didn't
work.
feel like explaining that a bunch.
No, well, it is what it is. With LSU still won. Jayden Daniels is going to win the Heisman. We're all going to be happy. The only one that would probably oppose it is Jacob, but he's working at Home Depot. So sorry, buddy. No argument from you. But it's Thanksgiving week. So Tyler, Wade, you excited? Spend some time with the family, get some good food.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, y'all sound absolutely thrilled.
All right.
Well, I also have to work on Thanksgiving.
Well, that's not
what's
fun.
the best way to have cranberry dressing? Congealed, log, or
I don't
jelly?
know what that means.
Like the one in the can where it's like plops out like a.
Okay.
Or like
that's
jelly.
Congealed.
Yeah, congealed. Yeah.
What is logged? What does that mean?
Like a congealed log. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Elise likes the log.
I don't like it at all.
Like a butter dish kind of thing. Like it's the square. Yeah. I'm not a big cranberry jelly fan, but if I had to pick, I think I would go out of the can because the jelly, because the log looks just gross.
Unappealing, yeah.
Tyler's with Neil. The best way is not just put it in the trash. I'm with you on that one. We did this last year. Got me thinking. Favorite Thanksgiving meal, Tyler. What is it?
It's always the big spaghetti that my grandma always. Yeah, it's pissed
Tyler
off.
said we're not having any rice and gravy. We're having spaghetti.
I mean, I'm not gonna be some basic boy who just says, "Oh, ham, turkey." Like,
I'm just surprised y'all have spaghetti at Thanksgiving.
It's like a baked mac and cheese, pretty much.
Baked mac and cheese. Yeah, no, that one's.
It's pretty much like spaghetti, but it's mac and cheese.
Okay.
If you're trying to slander me and what I eat on Thanksgiving, you can piss off.
Spaghetti and mac and cheese, totally different, but I'm with you on the baked mac and cheese.
He's talking about the noodle. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? It's been a long week trying to hold down the fort over here while y'all were sick.
It's been a long week on Monday night.
Yeah. Wade, what's yours?
I'd have to go. Let's go with the pies. I like the pecan pie and the pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Used to call it a pecan pie, but I'll digress. Call it a pecan pie. So yeah.
Yeah, Neil likes a honey baked ham on Turkey Day. Neil's a ham guy.
Hey, Neil's a meat guy. No sides.
That's all. Neil's plate is just protein. I'm a big baked mac and cheese. That's one of my favorites. Green bean casserole with the little crispy onions. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Of course, turkey. That I think that's just a staple in everybody's. Unless you're vegetarian, then it's tofu. I don't know. I guess there's plenty of other vegetables you can eat. But I do love huddling around the TV on Thanksgiving and watching the NFL games and seeing somebody get that turkey and egg, or as the announcers like to call it, the gobbler. So that's always fun. But We got some good ones for this Thanksgiving. With rivalry week in college football. Oh, here's another comment for Neil. Turkey is super overrated. Well, you only eat it once a year. That's the only time we hype it up is Thanksgiving.
I will say that everybody hypes up Thanksgiving food, but if it was so good, wouldn't we eat it more than once a year?
That's true.
I like it. It's good, but
ham is a Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. What's another holiday? Give me something.
Aside of
ham
4th of
on
July,
Halloween.
4th of July's burgers and hot dogs.
Cook a Halloween ham. Is that a thing?
I'd take turkey over ham.
Ham's expensive though. I bought a ham and a turkey.
Everything's expensive.
Dude, the ham was like $40. I was like, it's just a ham. And you cut it. You put some spiral glaze on it.
Looks like you're going to be getting some lunch meat instead.
Yeah, you're going to be getting Lunchables at your Thanksgiving dinner.
The turkey was $25 and the ham was $40. I bought both of them because we got to have a variety. But golly,
you can make a turducken.
Ooh, Chew does one of those. I don't know if Chew's watching, but the turkey and the duck.
He probably leaves the feathers on all the birds.
He just drops it in the fryer. It kills it. Fryer done. Y'all stuff the turkeys with anything? You ever stuff the turkey?
Most of the time we cop out now and do the stuffing on the side.
Yeah,
but I've had it both ways. It's good.
We'll usually have the meat stuffing and the bread stuffing on the side, but it's interesting stuffing a turkey with an orange. My grandpa likes to put an orange and an apple in there. That's just not a when you're a young kid, that's not a sight that you get out of your mind. I don't want to paint too graphic of
your granddad fist deep in a turkey.
Yes, putting an apple and an orange in there, and then one year they forgot to turn the oven on, so
oh Lord,
we
all a raw turkey on an orange.
Yeah, a couple hours go by, everybody's getting hungry, and we're like, man, it doesn't really smell like anything in here. Watching the Packers and the Lions game. Somebody goes, oh, let's check the turkey. Boop, there's a frozen turkey in the or I guess a thawed, but cold turkey in the oven still. So that was a late night dinner. That was at 9 o'clock. Usually you're eating the leftovers then. That was a late Thanksgiving meal. So, but Thanksgiving's fun for family. It's fun for placing sports bets because I'm usually in Louisiana, but this year I'll be in Texas. Wade and I and on Jayden Daniels to win the Heisman. I was hoping we were going to have Jacob on the show because I'm sure he would have given us a Big Ten, JJ McCarthy Heisman pick or something. I mean, we get right into it. Heisman picks. I'm Jayden Daniels all the way. Tyler Wade. I know we all want Jayden Daniels to win, but I mean, if not him, who?
I definitely see the argument for Bo Nix. I mean, I think that the team success does play a part in it. To me, I don't think it should be the entirety of the award, but if a guy's got really good stats like Bo Nix does, I think that he absolutely is deserving. But I just think if you look at the overall body of stats, Jayden Daniels to me is the best player in the country. So if we're going to give the award in the past to Caleb Williams, RG3, Lamar Jackson, I think that
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. I think that Jayden Daniels is the guy that you're going to remember from this season. I think he's just been electrifying. I think that his stats are right up there with those guys that we just mentioned. So I think that Daniels is, to me, the front runner.
No, I totally agree with you. I got into it with some Oregon fans on Twitter this weekend because they were all, Bo Nix had 6 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. Bo Nix is the best player in the world. He's 35 years old. He's still playing in college. I mean, you got Auburn fans out here remember him when he played at Auburn.
I think he did graduate high school in 2018 or 17.
How old is he? Let's see. I think he's 25. He is listed as a senior.
If we pull up his recruiting profile, I bet you it says 2017.
I'm trying to see bio. Here we go. He played at Auburn from 2019 to 2022. And so I guess he's technically only a Well, he's redshirted too.
He's
right?
like a fifth year.
Yeah, which I guess Jayden Daniels is fifth year too. But it just feels like Bo Nix has been in college forever.
Yeah.
And looking at the stats of the top guys with Penix, Daniels, Nix, um, Penix and Caleb Williams only have 30 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels has 36 and Bo Nix has 35. And the passing yards are all within 100 yards of each other. What's really surprising is Jayden Daniel has about 40 to 60 less pass or 60 less passing attempts than Bo Nix does, and he still has more yards than him. And then, of course, if you look at the rushing side, Jayden Daniels has 10 rushing touchdowns, and I don't think Nix has any, maybe one or two. So overall touchdowns accounted for, that's a lot different. But Tyler, what are you thinking? Make your argument for Jayden Daniels to win the Heisman or Bo Nix, whoever you think.
I mean, if you really look at it, you could just throw out the records. Stats really show that Jayden Daniels is the best player in the country, and it's not even really remotely close. It's pretty even. If you look at their passing stats, Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels, but like you mentioned, Daniels is more of a rusher. He has 10 touchdowns. He has 1,000 yards rushing. And, Bo Nix, we thought that getting 6 touchdowns in the first half, that was going to be enough. And then a couple of hours later, Jayden Daniels goes out there and ties Joe Burrow's record of 8 touchdowns in a game. So Daniels really only has one more chance. Nix has 2 more chances. You get Oregon State. Oregon State, probably one of the better defenses that he'd face, and more than likely he's going to face off against Washington again if he wins that one. Then it's definitely going to be hard to deny it because the team factor has come more of a factor for the Heisman alone. Like you mentioned, it's been 3 losses. You saw RG3, Tebow, everybody who's watching this already knows that stat, already knows it. So I think, obviously we all want Jayden Daniels to win the award. But if you're rooting for Jayden Daniels, you probably need to root for Oregon to lose one more time to get out of the college football playoff. Because I think that if Bo Nix, if they beat Oregon State, he has another 3+ touchdown performance, and he goes out there and avenges the lone loss that Oregon has. I think it's going to be tough for the whoever's voting for the award to not vote for Nix.
That would be a Heisman level moment, to avenge the loss to Washington. We could see a situation where FSU loses a game, or at that point, maybe they're better in Texas. So I think if Oregon does win out, they're a playoff team, and that would be the Heisman moment people are looking for.
But it's more Nix has to have a Heisman type game. He can't go out there and throw 20 for 28, 200 yards at a touchdown. That's not a Heisman moment, and they win, right? That's.
But I'm not so convinced Oregon's going to win that game if they do.
Me neither.
I think
Washington's look really good.
Yeah.
And I think Penix has almost played himself out of the Heisman because he hasn't had those at the beginning of the season. I was all on Michael Penix, and now it's he's kind of just put up mediocre stat lines.
He's been good game manager, and they've been running the ball a lot more. But to me, that's an example of a quarterback kind of like JJ McCarthy, where he's undeniably a great player, but I don't think that he's Heisman level. Kind of more on the lines of Carson Beck.
I
would put Beck in the top 3 of the Heisman, honestly.
Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr. shouldn't even be invited to New York. The dude, come on, give me a break.
My finalist would be Daniels, Nix, and Carson Beck, to be honest.
I would go Daniels.
It would probably be Penix.
Yeah.
I know that Carson Beck, I think that he's not even on the top 10, but I think that he has the stats. And if we're saying that, if this is a team sport, Georgia has already really said that, hey, we're still the number 1 team in the country. I think that Carson Beck next year, it's going to be wide open for him because we're going to have this quarterbacks. They're going to be going to NFL. I think that Carson Beck is going to be really that next quarterback that can be that, quote unquote, number 1 pick in the NFL draft whenever he declares.
Well, you got potentially Quinn Ewers coming back, which I don't know if that's confirmed, but I think they said he was thinking about it. So Arch Manning.
Dart.
Jackson. It's Jackson. Jesus, how long has he been in college?
He's another one that started as a true freshman in 2019.
Not as long as Cam Rising.
He's got
Yeah.
another year.
Cam Rising.
Cam
seventh
Rising,
season.
he's like our
Seventh
age.
season.
Yeah.
See,
Cam
now
Rising
that's
might be
just
older.
overusing the system. That's his third. Well, he's
Third
rumored to be
medical.
coming back and transferring, so that'll be his third transfer. 7 years of college football. Like, come on, dude,
Oh,
you
he's
gotta
not.
just get a job.
He's rumored to transfer. He's not coming back to Utah.
I think Utah's been non-committed about him being the
The
guy.
starter. Well, it was kind of tough. You figured he wasn't going to play at all this year. I mean, he tears his ACL in the Rose Bowl. So, like, that was 7 months ago or 9 months ago. So that's tough to come back from that. So I guess I get the, like, medical red shirt. But, yeah, like you said, Wade, 7th season as a
I get it,
quarterback.
but honestly, injuries, luck, whatever aside, 6 years is enough. If you get hurt 5 out of 6 years, that's life.
Yeah. You go be a coach somewhere. I
mean,
you
you gotta
obviously-
He's
keep
going to be
cycling in new
25
players.
playing up against 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like you got to keep the age bracket, and I don't even really like it when these guys come back from like being an accountant or like a minor league pitcher or whatever. Like, it's college football.
I guess when they come back and they're a punter, that's a little different. Like you're just punting. Punters are people too, right? But you're not like running over an 18-year-old kid to make a tackle. One of the arguments that the Oregon folks, the Oregon quacks, I'll call them, were making. I said everyone says, "Oh, Bo had 6." Well, if LSU's defense had a pulse, Jayden Daniels would have had 6 in the first half too. He had 5 touchdowns, 5 possessions, full game, 8. He played 8 possessions, had 8 touchdowns. I don't care who the opponent was. That's pretty damn hard to do. Okay. This guy said, "Oh, you're mistaken. Bo had 6 in just 2 quarters." Then they sat him. If he would have stat padded like Jayden Daniels did, he probably would have had 12. 1, you're wrong. No way he has 12 in a game, right? 2, I replied with, take away the quarters, take away the time. You give them both 7 possessions, 7 for 7 from our boy JD, 6 for 7 for Bo Nix. That's just math, dude. That's just logic. One's better than the other. You give them 8 possessions. Who knows? Maybe Bo Nix goes 7 for 8. He doesn't go 8 for 8 like Jayden Daniels did because he didn't score on the first possession at halftime. I know I'm like, crunching numbers here, but Jayden Daniels, in my eyes, Bo Nix may be a better overall quarterback, but Jayden Daniels is the best player in the country from a passing and a rushing standpoint. He's a 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback. He's got over 3,000 yards passing. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right on that. Yeah, he's got almost 3,600 yards passing, 46 total touchdowns accounted for. The announcers before the game showed Lamar Jackson's stats, and I think Lamar won it with 45 overall touchdowns. So Daniels has a chance to get 50 and match what Joe Burrow did back in 2019. So my eyes, case closed. Unless Daniels goes out there and lays an egg against Texas A&M. I know Nix and Penix have another game in the Pac-12 championship, like Tyler mentioned. My eyes, case closed. Give Jayden Daniels a Heisman. Go ahead. They ought to name it after the season, before conference championships. Just for all.
They're not going to do that.
I think if Bo Nix goes out and he like throws for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns and they destroy Washington, okay, that's his Heisman moment, right? Jayden Daniels has had his against Florida, but I think right now it's Jayden Daniels all day. Kind of case closed there. I mean, Neil leaves a good comment. Bo Nix couldn't even start in a mid-tier SEC team, so he's definitely not that good. I think he's the fit. He's good at Oregon. I think he'll be a top 10 quarterback or top 10 draft pick. But I also would like. I mean, where do you think Jayden Daniels goes? The Senior Bowl president said he was going 4th round. I don't think he falls that far.
I hope that he goes to New Orleans.
I think you'll sneak in there at the back half of the first round. Somebody that wants that 5th-year option on the first round pick.
New Orleans. I will put a GoFundMe, start it down. Jayden Daniels to NOLA.
I would much rather watch a rookie quarterback struggle in Jayden Daniels than watch Derek Carr throw another touchdown or another pass out of his noodle arm that he has. He's got the talent all around him. There's no reason why the Saints couldn't draft a rookie and plug him in and say, "Hey, you got weapons. Just go out there and run an offense." Okay. Well, you can screw up. You're a rookie, but it's better than Mr. $150 million man that can't complete a pass. So.
They brought back Marquez Callaway too today.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because they're going to go with Jameis Winston. That was Winston's favorite guy. Jeez.
Sure was.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like Michael Thomas is going to be out for about a month.
Yeah.
What did Thomas do? Did he punch somebody?
No, he
No,
hurt
he
his
got
knee.
hurt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's been a while since we've done the show. It's been a while since I watched football.
But other spots to look out for Jayden, I think Seattle, Minnesota, potentially Denver. So I think
put him in Minnesota. My gosh, that offense.
Put any of these quarterbacks in Minnesota. Goodness. Yeah. I don't think Kirk Cousins is on that the Aaron Rodgers training regimen, to be completely honest with you. I think he's taking his money and he's just gonna hang it up. Do you see Kirko going anywhere, Tyler?
No, I think that he stays with Minnesota. I mean, maybe they give Joshua Dobbs a chance to see how he does if they, make it to the playoffs. They just lost to Denver last night, so they're still in the hunt, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know what the playoff picture looks like right now, but we'll see. But I just don't think that Kirk Cousins' time is done in Minnesota. But I do like one of these rookie quarterbacks going to Minnesota, though. I just don't think that Joshua Dobbs is going to be the answer. He's good enough. He's a viable backup quarterback to go in whenever you're injured. But put in a guy like, Michael Penix or Jayden Daniels and the receivers and the weapons that you have. I mean, golly, this offense would be light years. So because Minnesota, you really look at it, they're kind of like that mid-tier level offense, really the top two offenses. You got Buffalo's, you got Kansas City, you got Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So Minnesota definitely needs that quarterback to really put them in that elite tier offense, because they got elite weapons with Jay Jettas and Osborne and Jordan Addison.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out their running back situation. Maybe they grab somebody in the draft. Shoot, I don't know how well Jayden Daniels' college game is going to translate to the NFL. I hope he does good. I saw a mock draft that has him going 11 to Tampa Bay. Imagine as Saints fans having to watch that man run up and down the field twice a year. The Saints defense wouldn't be able to touch him. I mean, they can barely tackle running quarterbacks now, but with his speed, I wouldn't even watch those games. It's just, nope, we're not watching football today. But like Michael Penix to Minnesota, that would be cool. I mean, do you think Caleb Williams is still a number one pick? I mean, no. He had his little drama. I'm not talking to the media after getting blown out by UCLA. He just wants to go and cuddle with his dogs. And Olivia Rodrigo was there singing. He's got some heartbreak going on, but Williams can ball. I mean, that's a fact, right? But his attitude is his issue. I mean, Wade, you're a GM scout, you're a general manager of an NFL team. Your scout's giving you the scouting report. Are you drafting Caleb Williams number one? Are you building your franchise around Mr. Emotional?
It's definitely a lot of reason for concern, but at the moment, I would still take him number one based off of the overall talent at the quarterback position. I don't know. Some of these other guys that we've talked about in the Heisman discussion, Penix, Nix, Daniels, they're all a little bit older, and they were frankly guys that didn't get it done at their first destination or weren't playing in a pro system. So right. I think that Caleb Williams has been playing pro-style offense since day one. I know that it's a little bit more of an air raid at Oklahoma and USC than a traditional pro-style offense, but kind of the elements that you're starting to see in the NFL. He's been doing it, and he's been doing it really well. So I think that you can get over the attitude. I think that he'll kind of mature and grow up, and you just have to bank on the talent. Now, I'm not going to, if I'm sitting there at number one as the Arizona Cardinals or even the Chicago Bears, I'm not going to give up on my young quarterback for him. But if I'm the Giants or someone like that, yeah, absolutely. Falcons, absolutely.
You don't think the Giants are going to roll with what's his name, Tommy DeVito, the true the true New Yorkian?
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't think it's. don't think Kyler's time is over in Arizona, and especially not Justin Fields in Chicago. But the Caleb Williams drama is just like it's childish. And if I was a GM, I'd be like, I don't want this guy leading my franchise, right? If you face my franchise, but he could come back. As an LSU fan, I pray he doesn't come back based on how our defense looks. And if we had to face him week 1 next year in Las Vegas, he's going to torch us. Okay, we'll have a whole new team, and it's not going to be great.
Well, they'll be active in the transfer portal. I mean, they're going to go get somebody that's at that level, you know.
Just need a new coach. Are you talking USC or are you talking LSU's defense?
USC.
Okay, yeah, that's true. And Lincoln Riley might not even be their coach after this season. I'm hearing some rumors about him on the hot seat. But he's just kind of, let's see, underperformed, to say, with a Heisman level quarterback. Looking around the league at some games for our, it's rivalry week. That word got me again. We got some great games in college football and some forced rivalries like LSU and Texas A&M. But we got the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving, so let's do a few quick picks here. Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Ole Miss is favored by 10.5. The game's in Starkville, but honestly, that doesn't even matter because it's the Egg Bowl. It always gets weird. What are y'all feeling this year in the battle for the egg?
I think Ole Miss covers the points. I think that's controversial because we know that it's always close and whatever, and Will Rogers is back. Mississippi State's playing for a chance to get to a bowl game, but I just think Lane Kiffin puts it to him, and I think it would be very satisfying for Ole Miss to end Mississippi State's season right then and there. So I think they win by 14 plus.
Oh, going with a domination there. Matty Ice is with you. He's got the Rebs taking it. Tyler?
Well, since Matty Ice is here, I got to pick the Revs to make him happy. So I think that Ole Miss wins too. I think that Ole Miss would love nothing more to just send their rivals back on the couch and send them in 5-7 and send them looking for a new head coach. I'm hoping that Mississippi State can get them a coach that can stay there for a while, build up that program, and really make it their goal to get to back to a New Year's Six bowl game because they really haven't been able to do that since Dak Prescott was there back in 2014. So hopefully they can get a coach. But Ole Miss, I think, covers. I think that usually the Egg Bowl is close, but I can't get out of my head that 2 weeks ago Mississippi State lost 51-10 to Texas A&M. They struggled in the first half against Southern Miss. So I think that Ole Miss offense, they were just going through their progressions against ULM, but they're probably going to put up 40 points or even more. Lane Kiffin and the boys cover, and they bring back the Golden Egg Trophy back to Oxford.
Yeah, so Mississippi State won it last year. Wildest moment back in, I think it was 2019, when Elijah Moore got down on all fours after catching the game-winning touchdown. All that was needed was an extra point. He gets down, and he pisses on the pylon or fake pisses on the pylon.
That's wild.
Unsportsmanlike penalty, 15 yards, back him up. Okay. 35-yard extra point, shank. And Mississippi State holds on to win that game. I don't remember what the final score was, but it was close. A 1 point difference. So I really want to pick Mississippi State. I really do. Yeah, give me the Dogs. I'll go Mississippi State.
You did it earlier.
Yeah. It's a weird game, right? I mean, it's like this is
I will stay away from it betting wise.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on it at all. Maybe bet the over. I mean, there's always points.
I mean, I really do think Ole Miss is going to curb stomp them in that 14 or what is it, a 10-point line, 11-point line?
10.5, yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty money, but you just can't doubt the power of a rivalry here this week.
Yeah, it's Thursday night. It's on Thanksgiving. Like, it's just everybody tunes in. Oh, wow. Matt and I are no longer friends. He says he'd like to redact my friendship.
Okay, Matt. You got two new friends here.
I don't know, dude. It's a rivalry game.
We don't like them either.
Thanksgiving. It's just wild. So I'm going State.
Chet told me that he wishes he went to Mississippi State deep down.
No, I don't. No, I went there. So I took a college visit to Mississippi State. went for the Egg Bowl in Starkville. I watched Ole Miss beat the brakes off of Mississippi State. And I hated every second of it because of those damn cowbells. So we were there for a half, and I was like, I am never coming back to this city. So there you go. Oregon State, Oregon, better known as the Civil War, but the teams don't call it that anymore. So does Oregon State play chaos and ruin Oregon's playoff chances?
I sure hope that they at least give them a game in this one. Oregon State, they almost had. I feel like Washington. I told Wade this on yesterday's show. Washington is giving me like the TCU vibes that we're just waiting on them to lose, and they just won't lose. They might just win the national championship the way that they've been rolling. But I think that Oregon wins. Oregon had just been on whatever teams in front of you. We're going to put up 50 or 60 points up on you. Well, if they can do it against Oregon State, one of the best defenses in the Pac-12, but I think that Bo Nix has himself a game that puts him up there along with Jayden Daniels in the Heisman race. I think it's close. I don't know what the line is with Vegas. It's probably at least like 14 points, but I would take the Beavers. If this was in Corvallis, I would be taking Oregon State, but since it's in Eugene, I think that Oregon wins.
It's 13.5, so yeah, 14 points was
I think Oregon State can cover that.
All right, so we got an Oregon Duck. We got a quack on the show, Wade. Are you quacking with them?
Yeah, I'll be a quacker too. I like that this game's in Eugene.
Not a quacker, but a Quaker.
So, yeah, I think Oregon gets it done. I'm not so sold on Oregon beating Washington quite yet, so we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, give me the quacks. Give me Bo Nix. I just shit on him for the past 10 minutes, but yeah, give me Oregon. Take down Oregon State in the Civil War.
Good logic there.
The game. Ohio State at Michigan. The sign stealers, Jim Harbaugh-less Michigan versus Ryan Day and the Lee Corso-hating Ohio State Buckeyes. Who do we got, boys?
Ohio State. I'll say it. Ohio State beats Michigan. I don't care where this game is. They're not going to win 3 in a row against Ohio State. And honestly, Michigan's just had too many distractions. You can't get through a season like this without falling. Even if they make the playoff, they lose in the first round. But I think they go ahead and get it done. Here with the loss, I think Ohio State is going to make the playoff.
Okay, so you think either team...
And I picked Michigan to win the national championship to start the year. But I'm just not very impressed.
That's week 1. This is week 13.
Yes.
Things changed.
Tyler?
Yeah, this is going to be a grinded out battle. There's probably not going to be many points scored. I feel like we say that every year, and then all of a sudden Michigan comes out of nowhere and puts 40 points. But this is definitely two of the better defenses. Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, I just don't think that he's that good of a quarterback. The past couple of weeks, they were just handing their ball off to their guys. Blake Corum, he had himself a big game against Penn State. And then last week, they had to really rely on their running game, too. So I think this is going to be a really battle you out. I think that Michigan gets it done, though. I think that this is in Ann Arbor. This is going to be a very close game, probably like a 21-17 type of ugly game in the Big Ten, especially at the big noon kickoff. But I'm going to go with the Maize and Blue. I think that even with the distractions or not, they're wearing free hardball shirts. The man's only suspended for like 3 games. He's not in prison. He's not dead. Get over it. So I think that Michigan wins this one.
He's still in the press box. It's not like he can't go to the game. He just can't be on the sideline. At least that's how I understand it. But, I don't think Michigan wins 3 in a row. Give me Ohio State. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I love my pick even more.
To take down the Wolverines. Solely based on all the drama that's going on, man. I know they're like, Jim Harbaugh said today, it's not going to distract our players, blah, blah, blah. Dude, there's a lot.
It already has.
Going on. Yeah. We're
not talking about the game. We're talking about distractions in week 13.
Yeah, it already has. Thank you, Wade. So I think winner of this obviously goes to the Big Ten Championship and faces the mighty Iowa. And they probably beat the brakes off of them. I don't care how good Iowa's defense is. When the over-under this weekend is 26.5 for their game. So, I think winner of this gets the playoff spot. So, next up, the Governor's Cup. Kentucky at Louisville. If you would have asked me this 5 weeks ago, I would have said Kentucky, but they have since fallen off, and Louisville is looking great. I think they're 10-1. They're
No, it's this
lot.
week. You have to do double.
Yes, double L. They're lined up to take down or to face Florida State next week. Is that locked in, or is there still?
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
both
locked.
teams are playing out of conference.
Yeah. So give me Louisville to take down their SEC foe. Kentucky's on a 4-win streak against them. I think they get it done this year.
Yeah, I like the Cards. It's a tradition every year that Kentucky starts off undefeated and then absolutely tanks. I think Louisville wins this one and then they blow them out. Give me Louisville.
Okay, I like it.
I got Louisville as well. I don't think it'll be a blowout. Louisville's kind of been like TCU in a way from last year where they just kind of get by. I think they're a good football team. I don't think they're a championship contender, but they're good enough to beat Kentucky. I think they could beat Florida State, though, and play spoiler. So we'll talk about that next week.
Okay. Next one, Texas A&M LSU. I got on my list. This article has what they're all called. This one says nothing, but Les Miles once had an idea. We need a trophy. Somebody needs to come up with a trophy. There's so much petroleum, right? On both ends. Maybe some kind of big petroleum something.
The winner gets
Nope.
Lake Charles.
Not a barrel, a wrench or something. The weirdest quote. Well, honestly, not the weirdest quote. The dude had some wild stuff. I'm taking LSU. Texas A&M is in shambles. They got a good defense, but they can't stop LSU's offense. Give me the Tigers by 40.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
big time.
That would require scoring 100 points.
That is true. Yeah, because our defense. Well, they don't have much of an offense for our defense to stop. So that's going to be an interesting battle on that side. But I think it's big time LSU. So y'all riding with me?
I am riding with LSU, but I think that A&M covers. Right now, LSU's a 10. LSU got flat out embarrassed in last year's meeting. I mean, A&M was 5-7 going in this one. LSU was number 5. They were looking towards Georgia, and A&M puts up 38 on them. So even so that, Max Johnson's not probably not going to be available for this one. So they're on their third string quarterback. That third string will probably still score 30 points against this sorry LSU defense. So I'm going to go like 38 to 35. I think that Jayden Daniels has like a 4 touchdown performance to keep him in the race.
I like it. Wade, who you picking?
I think LSU wins. I'll meet you on the middle. I'll take LSU 42. 31. So I think they barely cover. I think that they let up a lot of points, but they score a little bit more than Tyler predicted. So I think that sounds about right. And it's enough to keep Jayden the Heisman front runner for now, but it is his last audition. So I think he needs 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he's in the whole time. It's his senior day. It's LSU senior day at 11 o'clock in the morning. So thank you, ESPN. I like to call this one the Mac Daddy of them all, not the Rose Bowl, but the Iron Bowl. Alabama at Auburn. Of course, Auburn just got curb stomped by New Mexico State. Hugh Freeze calls it his worst coaching performance in his life. One of the most notable moments in honestly in college football history came from this game with the pick 6 for Auburn to upset Alabama. And ruin their SEC title chances. So, obviously, I think Alabama's favored by a lot because Auburn sucks. But it's the same thing as the Egg Bowl. It's the Iron Bowl. Crazy shit happens. So, Wade, take us away. What's your prediction?
Well, crazy stuff does happen, but not when there's this big of a talent gap and you're dealing with Alabama. So, I think Alabama absolutely beats the brakes off of Auburn. I think they win this one like 34-10.
Okay. Tyler?
Yeah, Auburn needs a miracle. I don't even think Jesus himself can do this miracle for Auburn. They are flat out pitiful after what they did against New Mexico State. I think this is a personal game for Nick Saban, and Jalen Milroe is going to run all over them, and I think this is going to be like a 42-10 type of game.
I could see it.
I'm sure the majority of our listeners and viewers are familiar with the Iron Bowl, but for those who are not, the hatred runs deep in this one. You've got back in 2010, I saw this trending on Twitter today, and it was cracking me up. Mr. Harvey Updike calls into Paul Feinbaum and says, Paul, let me tell you what I did. The weekend after, I'm reading a direct quote here. The weekend after the Iron Bowl, I went to Auburn, Alabama, because I live about 30 miles away, and I poisoned them 2 tumor trees. I put Spike 80DF in them. Feinbaum wasn't taking it serious. He goes, well, did they die? He said, they're not dead yet, but they're going to die. Feinbaum said, is it against the law to poison a tree? Harvey pulled his glasses down. He said, do you think I care? I really don't. Roll damn tide. Click, and hung up the phone.
That's so Alabama.
He was arrested, charged with criminal mischief. He later died in 2020. Doesn't say why, but he had to pay $80,000 in restitution and served 70 days in jail. So yeah, that's the most. And he's from Louisiana. He wasn't even from Tuscaloosa. So
You could leave that part out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's. I mean, Iron Bowl. That's always fun. I didn't give my pick. Give me the War Eagles. Pulling it off. Crazy upsets this year.
Trying to make some friends over in Auburn.
Yeah, there's some other Arizona State. I think Arizona wins that. I mean, they're playing great. Virginia Tech, Virginia. I don't even know. I don't think anybody really cares.
Probably Virginia Tech.
Washington State, Washington. This one's interesting. The Apple Cup. I incorrectly referred to something earlier in the season as the Apple Cup. I don't remember what it was. But I think I don't even know what the spread is, but probably Washington. Right?
Yeah, Washington's favored by like 15.
Battle of the backups. Florida State, Florida. The Sunshine Showdown. No Jordan Travis, who tragically had a season-ending injury. Prayers out to him. That was not easy to watch. I don't know if y'all saw the video. He gets tackled. His leg bent backwards and then flopped back.
Yeah, I don't like
really
watching
fast.
that over again.
Yeah, that was rough. And then of course Graham Mertz is out too. So battle of the backups. Let's talk about this for a second. Obviously, Florida State needs to win out. You know, if they lose, that definitely makes their playoff chances in shambles. And of course, you have Louisville next week in the ACC championship. But if Florida State wins out, do you think the committee holds them out of the playoffs for a one-loss team just because they don't have Jordan Travis? They didn't do it with Ohio State and Cordell Jones. So, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, if they're one loss, I mean, if they're not an ACC champion, then yeah, that would definitely be the most way. But I've even heard people say that people are going to they think that the committee's going to leave them out. They're 13-0. There's no
That's
way
what I'm saying. If they're undefeated,
that if you're a Power 5 team and you're undefeated, I don't care who's your quarterback. It could be Mickey Mouse. You're still going to be in there. I mean, like you mentioned, you brought out Cardale Jones. They did it. They won the national championship. So it could still be done. I mean, Florida State still has the pieces. You know, got one of the top running backs with Trey Benson. They have one of the top wide receivers with Keon Coleman. And they got a really good defense. I think that, going into the swamp, that's definitely going to be a hostile environment. I know that Graham Mertz is in there. It wouldn't surprise me if that's close. I think that Florida State wins that one. I still think that they can beat Louisville. Like Wade mentioned, it feels like Louisville isn't much of a team that hasn't really blown them out. I think that they probably blow out Kentucky this weekend. But yeah, if Florida State is probably a one-loss team and they don't have that ACC championship, then that's where their resume really takes a hit, because really their best loss right now is a 14, ranked number 14 LSU. Outside of that, Clemson fell off and Miami's on the team. So they really only have one ranked win. So if they lose either to Florida or to Louisville, I think that they're out entirely.
But if they go undefeated, I'm against I'm against the committee not putting them in just because they lost their quarterback based on Cordell Jones. I mean, the backup quarterback comes in, they win the whole damn thing.
One guy doesn't make up a team, so
it's still a
guy
team
out.
sport.
Yeah,
but the argument I heard was, it's a 4-team playoff. They obviously want the most competitive teams, and people think that without Jordan Travis, Florida State doesn't stand a chance, and they'll get run over. And so they would rather see like a Georgia, Alabama, Michigan Ohio State or a Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, like leaving out Florida State because they don't have their starting quarterback. So
No, I think you can't do that if it's a team sport. I mean, Florida State has a good resume. I don't even think they're the 4 seed if they go undefeated. I think they're the 3. So I just think that'd be really unfair. I know that this is the last year of the 4-team playoff and that this isn't even a discussion going forward, but it would really just show that the playoffs about entertainment value than getting the deserved teams in there. But again, that's a good thing that's going to happen about expanding to 12.
Yeah. So Florida State. What's the prediction here? What do we got, guys?
I got the Noles.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Florida State gets it done. Florida just doesn't have a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got backup quarterbacks on both sides. Florida State's obviously a much better team than Florida is, so I think we're all in the Noles here. Last one I'm going to ask. Wade, I'm going to let you give the history of it. The Palmetto Bowl, the second longest matchup in college football history, ended at 111 games during COVID. So, Wade, Clemson, South Carolina, you grew up. This was your Iron Bowl. This was your Egg Bowl. This was you waited all year for this one to watch South Carolina get absolutely pummeled by Clemson every year. So, Wade, tell us the meaning of the rivalry, what it means to your family, and what it would mean to you for South Carolina to win this football game.
Well, see, I grew up in a very opportune time to be a Gamecock fan because South Carolina historically is not very good in this rivalry. But during my prime time of South Carolina football, the Gamecocks went on a 5-game win streak against Clemson. Fear the thumb. Before I came to LSU, and South Carolina lost the next 5 games. So, with that said, last year South Carolina played spoiler to Tennessee and to Clemson. They won both games.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good feeling about this one. I know Chet's upset that LSU's playing at 11 a.m., but I'll gladly watch the Tigers at 11 a.m. if it means we get to see a little bit of this action at 5 p.m. in Columbia, South Carolina.
The red
and
LEDs.
I just think that South Carolina is going to be really ruckus, and this team, they live off momentum. I'm going to go with Gamecocks in this one. They're 7-point dogs. I think that's entirely too much. I think South Carolina wins it outright. That's going to be my best bet of the week. But yeah, I think it's good for the Palmetto Bowl to have it competitive for once because Clemson was just really running away with it, right? But
yeah,
so many good players in this one. Alshon Jeffrey, DJ Swearinger, Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, these guys just laid the thunder on Clemson, and I'm excited to see it again on Saturday.
Okay. Hey, on that alone, give me the Gamecocks to take down the Tigers.
You cop out. You picked Clemson.
Yeah, I changed it up. I'm a revolving door.
He was just doing that for parody. I'm going to share an image here.
Tyler would like to know, fear the what now?
I'm going to share an image for y'all in just a little bit, but keep talking.
Okay. So, Tyler, you going with Clemson?
I'm going your boy, Spencer Rattler. I think that he gets it done here. That defense, that South Carolina defense, as much as I ragged on them, they've been playing lights out. They shut down Ray Davis. They're going to have to do the same with Will Shipley in that offense because I think that if you shut down Will Shipley, I just don't think that Cade Klubniak is the guy that can win you a football game. So this is probably going to be a defensive battle between Clemson and South Carolina, but especially at night in Williams-Brice Stadium with Sandstorm playing and the fans. And this is like South Carolina has a lot to play for. With a win here, they get to go bowling. So with the Duke's Mayo Bowl potentially on the line, give me South Carolina.
We stopped reaching out to Duke's Mayo. We should have kept that going with South Carolina possibly going.
We could reach out to the Birmingham Bowl and the Independence Bowl
or the Reliant Quest Bowl, because that's where LSU is going to be, probably playing Notre Dame. All right, we got something from Wade.
Ooh, a live highlight.
Here you go.
What do we got? We got Jadeveon Clowney. Oh my goodness! Absolutely murdering somebody on the field. That's folks. I'm gonna have to mark this as NSFW murder on the stream. So yeah, that's That's what you can expect Saturday night from our boys down in South Carolina.
One of my favorite plays of all time.
Yeah. I love the one when he murders the guy from Michigan after they
With
don't.
Clowney against Michigan.
That's the ball don't lie moment.
Yeah, they give him the first down, and who was South Carolina's coach?
Spurrier.
Yeah, Spurrier's going nuts. Next play, Clowney blows the dude's head off. So we kind of gave upset picks. I'll still hit the siren.
Do it.
Wade had South Carolina taking down Clemson. I had Mississippi State taking down Ole Miss. Tyler, what's your update?
I'm going to the Big Ten here. This is the battle of the corn. Nebraska over Iowa. I think that they're like, oh, we're going to the Big Ten championship facing off against Michigan. But I think that Matt Rule and this staff needs their big win. They're 5-6 right now. I think that they get win number 6 in like a 10-3 type of game. This is not going to be many points, but I think that the Nebraska Cornhuskers, in front of their passionate home fans, I think the Cornhuskers beat the Hawkeyes.
It's a corn out. They're all going to be holding stalks of corn.
I think it is a trophy game too. So
do they give out corn?
I think Nebraska takes it home. I think they're playing for like a pig or something. I don't know.
They get one live pig.
Whoever wins gets 7 points added onto their season total for points.
Whoever wins gets 7 ears of corn.
There you go.
We should be played at Field of Dreams, honestly. We should make a football field there.
Just surrounded in corn. Let's get to our best bets this week. Building that bankroll.
It's time for building that bankroll.
Cha-ching, brought to you by our friends over at Wolf Spreads. Download it. Join our league. I totally forgot about the NFL this week for Wolf Spreads, so I got all the $2,000 on the Eagles. How did you do this week, Tyler?
Well, in NFL, bad. In college, I made 946.
Nice. I think I had the LSU cover. Did not get the LSU over. They were 3 points short. I don't actually remember what else I bet on. So while I get it pulled up, let's see here. Oh, I lost $90. USC screwed me. And I lost on the over. Yeah, so what are our rankings here? Let's see. Players. Tyler in first. And then everybody else did, Joe. Good job, Joe. He's in second. Everybody else didn't play. Then myself and -90. Neil, -579. Wade, -1,081. So bounce back time. Bounce back. Real money wagers. Here we go. What's your bets? College football. Let's start at Wade.
All right. So got 2. We can ride with the pack. They haven't failed me yet. I actually rode with the pack in real life, but I forgot to get on Wolf Spreads in time. Well, North Carolina State won against Virginia Tech as a 2-point dog on the road. This time, they're a 3-point dog at home against North Carolina. I'm going to take them to win outright, but you could take the +3 just in case they were to lose, on a 2-point conversion or some of that nonsense. So I think that's pretty fair. And then we just talked about it, Florida State and Florida. I think FSU still covers the 6.5 here. I mean, there is a little bit of risk here with it being a rivalry game, but I just think the talent difference is that much different between the number 3 team in the country and Florida. I mean, we've seen other teams in the SEC just trounce the Gators. So I think 6.5 is enough points for Florida State to cover.
Okay, I like it. Tyler, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go to a team that just curb stomped Utah. Give me Arizona to cover 11.5 versus an awful Arizona State team. Oregon and Bo Nix just put up a buku number of touchdowns. I think that Arizona is going to win this one pretty convincingly. So give me Arizona to cover that 11.5.
I like it. I'm going with a game you just mentioned in your upset picks. We got Iowa, Nebraska, over/under set at 26.5. Give me the under. Give me a 10-3 game. Give me a 13-10. I don't care what it is, but it's going to be under 26.5 points. I mean, last week I think was the record over/under 27 was like the lowest it's ever been, and they're going in another half point, 26.5 this week. Iowa is a just money bag, truckload of money on the unders. So get it 26.5. NFL side, I'm going on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving. We have the 49ers going to the Seahawks. The Seahawks, I believe, do not have Geno Smith this week. He's got it was a weird injury. Do either of y'all know what it was? I saw like a Twitter headline.
I saw Kenneth Walker is going to be out for a couple of weeks.
It was a very weird injury. So 49ers are favored by 6.5 on the road. Brock Purdy had a perfect passer rating on Sunday. I think he keeps it rolling. It's back-to-back weeks. He's played really good. Give me the 49ers to win by a touchdown. So, Tyler, what you got for the NFL?
I'll give you an outright pick. This is going to be a little spicy one, but give me CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans to win outright against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars feeling themselves, beating a bad Titans team, but they're going on the road to Houston. CJ Stroud playing like not only a rookie of the year, but MVP level.
Yeah.
So give me CJ Stroud and that defense too. Derek Stingley got an interception if you didn't watch Sunday game. So I think that Houston's right in the mix in the AFC South looking for that playoff berth. So give me the Texans outright.
What's the last time a rookie has won an overall MVP in the NFL?
Probably a long time.
I mean, he wasn't really a rookie, but his first year, Mahomes did it.
Let's see. Only NFL rookie to win MVP was Jim Brown in 1963. Huh. He rushed for 942 yards, 9 touchdowns in 12 games. And he had 16 catches. Huh. Okay. Wow. That's I mean, CJ Stroud is lighting up the NFL right now. And I agree with you, Tyler. I mean, he's an MVP caliber quarterback. So wait, what you got?
Yeah, I like that pick a lot, Tyler. I had it on my list as well. I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm going to go with the Dolphins to cover 9.5 against the New York Jets. The New York Jets are going to be they're going to be starting a new quarterback, Tim Boyle. He might be worse than Zach Wilson. Who knows? But I just am not very confident in New York scoring 7 points in this one, and I just think that this Dolphins offense is that good. So the Bills did it this past week. They've had their struggles, so I think the Dolphins can absolutely do it. And that's going to be our first ever Black Friday game sponsored by Amazon.
That'll be interesting to watch. I'm ready to watch that one. Oh, my camera went away for a second. Y'all
we got you a Thanksgiving game, we got you a Black Friday game, and we got you a traditional Sunday game. So we got you lined up, and a Friday game with Nebraska. So
anybody playing Wednesday? Are we about to have football Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Well, we have some action, I think.
Okay, I like it. Some late night action on Wednesday. What about tomorrow? What about Tuesday?
Action as well.
Yep.
Boom. Just turn the TV on. You got football playing all the time. I almost forgot Dog of the Week. I didn't really feel like, I didn't watch any NFL games this week. I don't know if y'all did, if you had anything to talk about for the NFL. But I almost ended the show without doing Dog of the Week. So here we go. Who got that dog in them? Everyone's favorite segment on the Sports Scramble podcast. Let's see. We got some people in the chat. We got Neil. We got Matty Ice. We got Lyndon. Let's see if we can get some Dog of the Weeks. Matt's got one. He texted it to me, but I want to see that comment come through, Matt. So if you're listening, get the dog in. So Tyler, start us off for Dog of the Week.
I'm going to give it to a team here. College game day was at this setting. James Madison was undefeated. Yep. They were getting all this hype. I made a short about them should go bowling. I still think that they should. NCAA, you're a no fun police. Let Jacksonville State and James Madison go bowling. We don't want some of these 6 and 16s getting in there and getting blasted by somebody. But give me App State. I mean, with all the talk surrounding James Madison, over 26,000 people at game day, and they beat James Madison, gave them their first loss of the season in overtime. So the Mountaineers are like, hey, we're the ones who are the upset specialists over here. So give me App State, the Mountaineers, as my Dog of the Week.
I mean, If Appalachian State's playing a top 10 team, pick App State money line all day, every day. That's what they do. They show up for these games. They live to upset. So I like that one. And did you see the Pat McAfee kicking contest? It was at
Yeah.
$90,000. The dude was talking all sorts of smack. He's like, I didn't even warm up for this. I've never kicked a ball in my life. I'm a baseball player. And McAfee says, yeah, you look like a baseball player. You suck. And he walks up there and he hits a line drive straight to some poor kid's head. Just takes him out. Doesn't even get it 5 yards off the ground. Right over the left side fence. Boom. Knocks somebody out. McAfee goes, he killed a kid. He killed a kid. So, yeah. I like App State. That's a good pick for Dog of the Week. So, Tyler. Or, wait. I'm sorry. What you got?
All right, since Tyler left it out there for me, we talked about this one yesterday on SEC Talk. I'm going to give it to New Mexico State quarterback Diego Pavia. He had a respectable 210 yards and 3 touchdowns on the road against Auburn in the upset victory. But what made him the Dog of the Week is he absolutely body slammed an Auburn defender in the 30-point beatdown. So he got it done in more ways than one. So I got to give it to Diego for pulling off that upset.
So we have a Matty Ice.
I agree with this one,
Mission.
Matt Jens. Cortland Sutton's on a burner, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who got that dog in him? You want to know who got that dog in him? Cortland Sutton with the game-winning catch in Sunday Night Lights. I saw the catch. Yeah, I was asleep when he texted me. I fell asleep pretty early last night. That was a nice catch to win the game there. So Cortland Sutton, hats off to you. I'm going over. I've been talking about him all week. It's a very obvious choice. Jayden Daniels, 8 touchdowns, 8 drives. He had 5 incompletions, more touchdowns than incompletions. I mean, he's playing like a Heisman winner. He's doing everything he can. That's what he has to play for. That's my Dog of the Week, is Jayden Daniels. So, with that, we got Tyler. You got some fantasy picks for us for the fantasy football corner. We're gonna keep them on the shorts this week.
We're going to keep them on. Videos coming out tomorrow at noon, and then the shorts will follow at night.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the Sports Scramble YouTube page. Get your fantasy updates. I mean, the NFL, like I said, I didn't really watch it. The Chiefs and Eagles are playing right now. Taylor Swift's not at the game, so you know the viewership's cut in half. Let's see what that score is. 17-7 Chiefs. They're defending their Super Bowl title here. LSU's women is winning 105-44 against Texas Southern without Angel Reese. Other news, Tiger Woods, I don't know if y'all saw, he's back. He's playing the Hero Championship on November 30th. He's walking. He's training really hard. Tiger Woods wins the Masters next year. Boom. I said it now. Clip it. November 20th, 2023. Tiger Woods. I don't want to, you know what? Wins the Masters. I'll stick with it. Yeah, that's about it. I'm kind of college. I was college football this weekend. Not a lot of NFL. So, anything else from y'all? Y'all too?
Yes, sir. Excited to watch some action this week. Eat some good turkey. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving.
Some action or some action? Some action.
Action. Mac and cheese action.
Yeah.
Watch out for the spaghetti, Tyler. But with that, I think that pretty much wraps up the show. We appreciate everybody tuning in and listening. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We're growing. Tyler's doing great on the YouTube Shorts. You got to catch him every week. Have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. We hope you spend a lot of time with your family. Don't drink too much. Wave that towel, wave.
USC.
Yep.
USC.
Go Cox. Go Gamecocks. Go Tigers. Give me Florida, take down Florida State, and Buckeyes over the Wolverines. So with that, everybody have a wonderful week.